Okay, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the community of Manenberg, and right next to me I've got Mr. Hope, Mr. Yusuf Hope, community leader for more than 30 years in the community. He's done brilliant work within the community. I've heard so many good stories. But Mr. Hope, perhaps just from your side, we are taking a slight drive through Manenberg with 30. Perhaps just a light view of what is Manenberg like, and for the past few years, has anything improved? And in terms of maybe just one or two things that you would do when you do take office.
Yes, Joe. Look, I can tell you that Manenberg has always been a vibrant place, regardless of our circumstances. You know, our colored people just have a way of just rising above our circumstances, which in itself has actually worsened. Because look around you. It's the same infrastructure, yet I think the community for which this infrastructure was built must have quadrupled, if not more. And yet we still expect the same infrastructure to cater for all of these people. Our services hasn't really improved. In fact, I'll be bold enough to say that it hasn't improved at all. Now you'll see it improving, yes, because there's a by-election. all of a sudden you see these council trucks all over the show.
Manenberg is important now.
Yes, now Manenberg is important. We're gonna go this way, we're gonna go this way. Yeah. So now Manenberg is important, yeah, but you know what? Yeah, it wasn't important a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. I just want to see quickly where is we need to turn around.
Is it?
Yeah, I just want to ask him to see where's Pastor. Man, I want to bring you guys here to Pastor. Yes, gentlemen. See hoe was Pastor Clive nog weg? Oh, he's here.
Yes, Pastor.
Yes. Now, Pastor phoned this morning, you know what? And this is sad, man. It's not an excuse. But it's sad. Meester, hoe gaan het, man? Yes, that's my brother.
Kan ons wat die kan trekken?
Madras, you can pass up.
No, it's fine. No, you be yourself. I've seen the people are quite excited to see you. You know, I see the energy that they give to you, you know, the love and support that they show you. And I mean, it didn't even take that long for you to respond to the school, you know. So when we do look at Manenberg, we do see an after effect of apartheid. This community in itself was created by the apartheid government. During the Forceful Removal Act, these people were thrown here, and nothing was done to address the social ills or the living conditions of these people. As Mr. Hope has mentioned, that things has gotten worse and worse over the last few years. The property that we are currently standing at is a church, right? And Mr. Hope has been playing a fundamental role in engaging and building relationships with community organizations, whether it be churches, the mosque, community organizations as in feeding schemes. And these people have been trying for years to find solutions to make Manenberg a better place. When we listen to the stories of the people, we can clearly hear that the DA government in the city of Cape Town has been totally detached from the community in itself, from the constituents, from the people that has voted for them for 20 years. We're looking at the conditions of the flats. These people are still paying monthly rental to the city of Cape Town. And just about 2 weeks ago, Mr. Hope informed us that evictions are now taking place. And this evictions is happening because people are behind with their rental. You know, there's certain people that just cannot afford to pay the city of Cape Town these high amounts for rates. And in one case, there's one guy's furniture and things was removed, you know, and it's almost as if, what do they call it, they seize his assets, no? They seize his assets. And, you know, his furniture and things was taken away. And the man is sitting now there without any appliances or furniture or things, you know. But looking at the situation in the community, we can see that this is supposed to be a church, but there's no space or development, or help coming from government to ensure that we have proper churches going up, proper infrastructure coming up into our communities so that our people can be closer to God. And I'm not saying that you need to find God in the building. It's within you. It's how you live every day. It's how you treat people. And ultimately people build their own relationships with the Almighty. But not deep into that. What I'm saying is that the building in itself sometimes serves as a refuge, serves as a safe haven for many people in the community. And people just feel so dignified, when they do come into certain spaces. But I'm going to come over to Mr. Hope, that is currently speaking to one of the pastors in the community. Yeah. Mr. Hope.
Yes.
Perhaps, we are currently on the church ground, right? Just how important is it for you to build relationships with stakeholders and community-based organizations and churches like this?
Well, firstly, I want to say, you don't build relationships. You don't build it. If you build a relationship, it's fake. It's fake. We were on the phone now, and only when we got to see each other, to see nos again. It's nog a Clive, Pastor Clive. Now this man, I can tell you, we know each other for how many years? More than 35 years.
So long as Manenberg stand.
Exactly. And this was the other type of guy. I was speaking to him and I was like, okay, now it's Pastor Clive, Pastor. When I saw him now, and I said, nah. Now that's what I want to say. You see, if the Lord's work is at play, nobody can put their finger in that. We were just talking about now, Pastor Clive. This morning he phoned me regarding this.
So there's a break in here this morning.
Yes.
But
you understand?
But they couldn't get in because of the burglar bar. But they took the whole window out.
The window out.
Because it was aluminium. And after they did go change it by the scrapyard.
And I want to make a request, man. I want to make a request to our people on the streets. We come from a different background. Pastor Clive comes from another background. I'm not going to go into that because that's his past. We're looking at the future. But guys, this isn't quiet, man. This is a place of worship. This is a place of worship. I'm a Muslim, but I take offense to the fact that we are breaking down a church. We want to break into a church. And I can tell you, where the gangs are concerned, even they have the necessary respect for this place of worship.
Yes.
And if we're going to catch you, and we will catch you, then the law must take its course, whichever law we're talking about. But we're not going to allow for a place of worship, whether it's a church or a mosque, whether it's a madrasa or a Sunday school. We're not going to allow this. We're breaking up our own place, guys, man.
That is what they do.
Look at Pastor Clive. Look how he transformed his life, man. Now, this must be the type of role models that we have within our community. This is the type of role models that we must actually illuminate, which we must elevate within our communities. And we must have conversations like this. So that people can see, man, you know what, if he could change his life like that, so can you. You're a youngster. There's no guarantee that you're going to become an elder.
Yes, I told now, when you were a young guy, I did take a walk here by years, 3 scrapyards here to go see if they sell the window there. And when I passed a young guy and he talked with his friend in a wheelchair, no, I'm not smoking pipes anymore and so on.
Alhamdulillah.
With my return, and I meet him again and I stop with him and I tell him, you did make a very good decision.
Correct.
To stop it because you are still young, you have a bright future in front of you. And that is what we want, and that is the thing I do with every youngster, because I know where I come from. And I won't never forget it, where I come from, the people who helped me, especially my apostle. He have a big impact in my life.
Yeah.
Yes, hope to tell you now where I come from. This ground was a dumping place. This ground, we did rob years back here.
Correct.
Here on this field
Correct.
was 2 murders. One child on a primary school was raped on this ground.
Yeah.
And now here we busy to build a lighthouse for Manenberg.
Correct.
And that is what break me. They doing this. They doing this. That is breaking me. And our apostle get funds, hope, like fish, such a thing. And then
The whole community.
the whole community
You must come see
gain
looks
from
here.
it. The whole community gain from it. Now why doing this? Why doing this? In my mind I know who is it. But I can't put my finger there because I didn't see him.
Correct, yeah.
But his uncle say, last night, very late, in the early morning, he went out, his uncle come behind, after him to the yard, he's not there. And his uncle tell his mommy, he gonna lock the door. He said, boy, he's staying here, staying here. You see, but I can't say it easy,
Easy, man.
but because I didn't see him.
Yeah.
But his uncle say, his mommy's boyfriend say, it can be him, his mommy self say it be him. My daughter
It doesn't
say-
mean it
my-
is him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's a possibility.
Yeah. My daughter stay here one night past 3. The dog's barking here on the ground. My son-in-law come out. My son-in-law see him there by other apostles' yard. And now this morning, he came here while I'm here on the church ground. Ja, so hy bedank nou vir my. Ek sê, ja, ek bedank jou.
How old is this boy?
I don't think even he's 30 years of age.
So tell me, perhaps as Pastor Clive and Mr. Hope, just like we're speaking about the past and where you come from, you know, and it just takes me a bit back to think about, you know, and just this question is perhaps just posed to both of you, is just how important is reform as a person, right? How important is reform to you? Looking at you, where you come from, and given the fact that we see how these youngsters are operating, you know, how important is reform to you, getting them back into society?
You know what? I think our president articulated so well, and I'm not talking about our president of the country. I'm talking about our president, Fadil Adams. He said what we need in Manenberg is an army. We need the army to come in here. We need the army to come in here, but we do not need the South African National Defence Force. We don't need an army with guns and Caspers.
No, we
Because
need that.
violence begets more violence.
Yeah.
You know what? Instinctively, our first reaction would be, as ek nou die light kry, laat ek hom frik.
Yeah.
But you know what? Then that sanity steps in. And then you say, you know what? Let's speak to this light here, man. We also made mistakes along the line. And what we need is an army. We need an army of psychologists to come speak to them. We need an army of church people, an army of mosque, social workers. That
army,
teachers.
you can
We need an...
pray and
Correct.
told them the right thing to do.
Correct. Now we need it.
I agree 100% with Mr. Hope. We don't need
More
South
violence.
African
More guns.
defense force. No. What's going to happen with our youngsters?
That's all they're going to know.
But but the main problem we're sitting here in Manenberg, I'm talking about Manenberg, is the absent fathers. Is the absent fathers. And some of the mothers encourage the children
To do this.
in the wrong. Because I take my latest gun,
I did.
I hide it.
Yes.
I say my lady was never a gangster, but I knew he was actually a gang leader. He was a hitman from a gangster. One day my son, my eldest son, come here, you don't stay here, you come here by here where I stay. Come there. I see this move. And I ask him, hey, wat is hy?
Ja.
Ek sê, want hy bult in jou sak. Sy loop uit my plek uit, of ek vang nie loop.
Reg.
Want hy baie met my op en af, toe haal ek die vang nie, en ek vang die polies.
Correct.
Toe haal ek by weg.
Ja.
Ik wil niemand in die tronken zitten. Ik kom uit Klomjaar uit. Ik kom uit Klomjaar uit. Ik kom van die doodstraf af. Ik kom van die doodstraf af. 1980 was ik veroordeeld tot die dood.
Die man heeft die angpaal gekregen?
Jo.
Ja, ik kom van die doodstraf af. 2 jaar geleden die dodersjelle. Met touwdraai 32 jaar tronkstraf op aan die 20 jaar. Ik heb gezien wat die tronk opging. Ik heb het gezien. En het is hartseer. Die tronk is gebouwd door mens, voor mens. Want hij plek is hier recht voor het dier. En dit is waarvoor God voor ons geroepen. Om die woord van God te gaan verkondigen. En om voor hulle te syf. Om voor hulle te syf. Dat hulle kan besef. Van ons is nou bezig met OCC, Operation Christmas Child. We gaan nou beginnen weer volgende jaar. We zitten hier vroeg in hierdie jaar gehad. En weer volgende jaar. Dat is om die kinders in die zonneschool te krijgen.
Correct.
Dat ons hulle kan wegkrijgen van gangsterism, wegkrijgen van prostitutie af, wegkrijgen van drugs af. En zo gaat ons die mammies ook nader krijgen. Van die dag van hulle certificates krijgen voor die OCC.
Correct.
En dan moet die mammies ook kijken waarmee was die kind bezig. Ons geef hulle boekjes, wat hulle kan lezen. Baie van hulle kan niet lezen, so die mammy moet het lezen. Voor hulle. Dan sien die mammy wat God daar zo sê. En zo begeer hulle ook. En zo gaan ons Manenberg recht krijgen.
En vooral voor Pastor Clive. Kijk hier, ons het groot geword, ne? En die zeker weer in die Zoutpark. 2 huizen weg van ons, of 2 plotten weg van ons, was haar kerkgebouw, Assembly of God. Maar weet je dat gebouw? Allemaal moslims.
Moslims.
Van niet. Ons het kerk gegaan, dan zing ons Vision voor Jezus en het was geïntegreerd. En als dat zo naar school is, dan meen het niet, het is niet voor christenkinders. Ons moet die type of culture weer terugbrengen. Verstaan? Because die is die foundation. En als je foundation solid is, geestelijk, goddelijk, dan wie kan verkeerd gaan.
Kan niet.
Maar ik ga ook zeggen, dat moet een political will wees.
Ja.
Die political mensen wat aan het zaad is. Daar moet een political will wees ook voor hulle. Om te willen zeggen, nou, ons wil die leidjes ja. En die gaan teruggaan naar iets. Om 2500 teachers af te danken. Niet van private scholen nie, ne? Van scholen in Manenberg, van scholen in Parkwood, van scholen in Guguleto, van scholen in Evendale, overal, van public scholen. Hoe justified om 2500 teachers af te danken? En allemaal van die is voor onze kinders. Wat is de extra prijzen? Ik wil amper zeggen dat die is hoe die move georchestreerd is, die is die plan. Verstaan ze? Yes, wat zeg je man? Die wil amper zeggen, dat is die plan. Kijk eens aan. Voor ons om onze youngsters, ons moet geen slave blijven. Als we ons uneducated houden, dan weten we het is makkelijk om die kinders te overrompelen. Als we ons weg van die kerken of weg van die masjid houden, dan weten we het. Gaan vragen in naar wie is miste in die tronken? Wat de nazi is miste in die tronken?
Ons colours, ja. As die bruin mense, ja.
Ons colours. Die plek is gebouwd voor ons. Die plek is zo oorbevolkt. Kijk hier. Ze gaat nooit jou draaien kan krijgen nie. Het gaat een miracle kost voor de oude wat tronk toe gaan. Na? Hij gaat tronk toe als een Frans en ik ga uit als een Frans.
Het is een miracle, ja.
Als een miracle voor de om tronk toe te gaan. En ik ga uit zo naar het sapje.
I hear you.
Die system is zo gedesigned. En voor die reden moet ons die system change. Om voor onze mensen, voor onze youngsters in die, een betere Manenberg te maken.
With that being said, we're going to close off this chapter now that we have engaged with Pastor Clive and Mr. Hope, you know. Clearly you can hear that there's a lot of emotions attached to it. They've been in Manenberg for many years. They've done things in their lifetime, you know, and they now are saying that we are now wanting to be the beacon of hope for our communities, you know, the people that our people can turn to, you know, and just so being the living example, you know, for those youngsters, especially young men that don't have role models, that don't have fathers. As we hear from Pastor Clive also, that there is indeed a big problem with single mommies, single parents, you know, having to deal with their children on their own, you know. And these are one thing that many of us as young men, especially as colored young men, have in common on the Cape, many raised by grandmothers, many raised by single parents, you know, and ultimately the pressure does become a lot, you know, but we do serve a loving God. We do know that we have someone to turn to, but it's also up to us to ensure that we take responsibility and to ensure that we make the right decisions and do the right thing for the best interest of our community and our children. And so I want to plead to our community, to our people, to say, let us start to work together. You know, let us do exactly what Mr. Hope is saying. Let us find a political will, because politics is also a very, very, very important part of our community, you know, that is abused for so many years. We now have the opportunity to ensure that we vote for our own and that we don't vote for people that don't live in our community, that don't understand our community, that has got no will or no urge to fix the wrongs of the past, you know. And unfortunately, there will be no peace without justice. And if we don't fix the injustices of the past, unfortunately, the future will not be a future of a peace and harmony community. In order for us to ensure that we live in the community based on peace and harmony, there needs to be justice. And that's going to start with us. Change starts with us. We want to see change. Change starts with you. You're complaining about a lot of things. Let us start by getting ourselves right. And part of that is also to ensure that we vote right, because we vote in the interest of our communities and not for the food parcel. This is not 5 or 10 years ago. We are wide awake, and that's why you need to like and subscribe to wake us up in the hood. Give thanks.